Yep. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully, everybody had a good, what just passed? New Year's?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, New Year's. And if you're in LA, hopefully you're staying safe from those fires. So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Sid. If you want to check out Sliders, the series, it's available on Peacock, and also you can download the whole series digitally on Amazon or Apple TV. Or if you want to buy the physical copies, you can find them on Amazon. Pretty cheap. All right, let's get into the show. Oh, I wasn't ready there for a second. Sorry.
You're like, where's the beginning?
I should have had it there. My bad. All right, here we go.
What if you could revisit brand new worlds right here from your headphones, where anything is possible? Same shows, different perspectives. We've found the gateway.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Sliding Through Dimensions. So on this week's episode, we're going to be talking about Season 2, Episode 5, Sid. So just a disclaimer, this episode has to do with a little bit of domestic violence. So just a little disclaimer. And also, if you know anybody that's dealing with that, there's a hotline. Give them 1-800-799-7233. Or also the website is for... oh, I had it here, and now I don't have it anymore. It is thehotline.org. All right, so let's get into the episode. Overall thoughts on the episode?
I don't think it stood out to me too much. It was okay.
I liked it.
You liked
It's
it?
cool. Yeah, I liked all the architecture.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some really cool shots.
I did make a little
The
note on
architecture.
that building. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the original air date for this episode was March 29th, 1996. So I read the synopsis at the end of the last episode, but I'll read it again just in case anybody missed it. So while the Sliders wait to leave a world of violence, Quinn saves a woman from her criminal boyfriend, Sid. Sid then goes after the Sliders through the vortex, where they all arrive on the world where San Francisco is the maximum security prison.
Oh, which ends up in the title. Remember how?
Oh, in the opening.
Yeah, I remember. I was like, he mentions prison, but we didn't see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the opening credits.
First, the start of the season.
Yeah. So
I guess this is out of order. Huh? I was gonna say that's where that they made the intro list, like pretty much everything from, or not everything, but like season one, and then
stuff that's happening is going to happen in season 2. Yeah.
Did they say anything else? I don't even remember.
I feel like it's just the prison one. Yeah,
that's the only thing they mentioned.
Like, how weird. Yeah. But maybe it was supposed to be second episode or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So it opens up. They're like, I guess they're on this world.
They're in like a warehouse.
I guess they're like in
they're in like a battle.
like a war-ridden San Francisco.
That's what it seems like.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a bunch of warehouse district, looks all bombed out and everything, fires and stuff. You hear like gunshots in the background.
Yeah, and then like cars. You could hear like.
Yeah, you hear like cars going
there's
around.
some sort of like battle going on.
So then you see the gang. They're like running. Obviously.
Oh, do you see them running before?
Yeah.
I thought it was the car.
And they jump out of the car?
No, I thought it was the car, and then the guest star comes out of the car. And then we see them running. I could have been wrong.
No, it's them running first. They're finding a way, and they find they're like ducking and dodging between buildings, and end up and go inside like one of the warehouses. And then you see a truck come around the corner, and then you see one of the main characters that's going to be Sid himself, played by Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yeah, a young Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Very young.
He's rocking that leather jacket.
And you know what's funny? I thought to myself, like, he looks different, but he sounds exactly the same.
Know, right?
As soon as he talks, yeah.
Is this
he's rocking his leather jacket again.
A young Negan. Right
yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because it does seem much like that character?
Yeah, true. He's like a kind of like an evil guy.
Yeah, that's probably where most people probably know him from, right? Like
Watchmen?
Walking Dead.
Oh,
he also is
in
in the Watchmen.
Sliders. I was like, I think
Yeah.
No,
I
just
think
like in
Walking
general,
Dead
everybody
had-
knows him like from The Walking Dead. He was also in the Supernatural. He
He's in
was the dad.
Supernatural?
Oh, he's in
Yeah,
Supernatural.
he was in the new Supernatural.
Oh,
And then of course, like Dander said, The Watchmen.
And
The Watchmen.
the
Yeah.
boys
He was a jerk in the
right
Watchmen
now.
too.
Was he in The
Awful.
Boys?
Yes, he's
Yeah,
in the
that's
boys.
right.
That's right. He
Yeah.
was just in the
This
latest
last
season
season.
too.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. So he's
He's
busy.
He
He's busy.
plays a lot of kind of like awful guys, like an awful dude.
Is he a bad guy in Supernatural?
No, he's
Is he a good
not.
guy?
He's the
What?
father of the two main characters.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he's also like a demon hunter.
strange. He doesn't seem old enough to be their fathers. But then again, I don't know what age those characters are either.
I think
I
they're
just know the
they're
guy
like
from The
college
Boys,
age, whatever.
so,
Yeah.
You know,
to me, he's old.
because like one of the brothers in Supernatural is in college, and then his brother Dean. I don't know how far they are apart, but so I guess whatever, like early college years.
You're all
Age.
like, check out our new podcast.
We're gonna be talking about Supernatural now.
Never did.
But yeah, I was like, oh, but yeah, he looked a bit different. I don't know. I couldn't place.
Does he have a beard? I forget. Is he clean face? Or no, he has like
No,
slight
he's got-
scruff,
no, he's
right?
got some scruff going on.
Too.
I mean, he looks exactly like Negan, but like younger.
Yeah,
That's
maybe
it.
Maybe
Yeah.
he's thinner now. I don't know. I couldn't.
He's
place,
definitely thinner. Yeah,
he's
Oh
thinner
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
yeah.
I couldn't place what was like slightly different. Like there's a difference.
Mhm.
I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
that's it.
So like okay, so then
But yeah, he comes out. and
yeah, he
he's,
comes
like,
out of the
looking
car. He
for
tells
Michelle.
LJ to like
Wait in
move
the
the car,
car.
wait in the car, something like that. And then he's you see another girl like running around and ends up in the same warehouse area where Quinn and them are, and that's who he's chasing. I thought he
so
was
they-
originally chasing.
I thought he was
So
chasing
they
them.
literally-
Yeah.
I thought he was chasing them. So they literally hadn't met then.
No,
ever.
they had
Oh, yeah.
no.
Oh,
It just
okay.
happenstance that they happen to meet like this.
I thought we were in the middle of one of their like shenanigans, you know?
No, I think they were just like avoiding like
The
any
wa-
kind
the
of like
battle.
whatever the hell's going on.
Yeah.
So they just happen that girl just happens to go into that warehouse, and that's where Negan finds her, and then the whole crew was like hiding behind like some barrels and stuff like that. And then there's like an altercation that breaks out between them. Obviously, that's where he's obviously gonna like beat her.
Yeah, he's like, I think he tosses her, and then Quinn, of course, is like,
Oh.
I can't just let him.
Yeah, because even the professor tells him
Like,
not to
don't
get
get
involved.
involved.
And then
Yeah.
he's like, he's gonna kill her.
Yeah, I think I know that does beg the question, and I feel like we've seen this a few times in the series, right? Where it's like, should they get involved with this other world at all?
Yeah, I think they try their best, but
Or should they take like a documentarian kind of
Approach.
approach to it?
Yeah.
yeah. So even after
Yeah.
the professor warns him, he still goes. Quinn, being the
Quinn
good
has
guy
to
that
be
he
the
is.
hero.
I mean, he loses the fight.
That's
He
true.
does.
He
gets
like
loses the
punked
fight
so
bad.
he got like
Dude,
thrown
into
super
a
hard.
barrel.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck it.
How much of that do you think he did, and how much of that do you think was a stuntman?
I don't know.
I think it was
like,
probably pure stuntman after he
You're
first sees his
right.
face. Yeah.
As soon as it
I don't
went
think you
by,
ever see his face after, like, once that fight starts.
yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
maybe it all
Yeah.
back shots. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so
true. And then, of course, then Rembrandt comes in.
Rembrandt's always
He actually does
to save
something.
the
He
day.
actually does.
something.
Yeah.
I don't, like, you know what it is? Because Quinn says something before he hits him, which is the
Oh,
most
that's
fucking
true.
stupid
He
thing.
comes up behind him and then he's
goes,
like,
"Hey."
"I'll keep him here."
Yeah. Why the fuck
It's
would
like,
you say
You
that?
lost your angle of surprise
Yeah.
there. That's true.
Yeah,
Oh my
so
god, Quinn.
then so they help her
Also,
out.
I think Rembrandt had like a full.
He had like a
2x4.
piece. Yeah, he had like a piece
And
of
then,
wood or something.
and then
Yeah.
Quinn only had this like tiny little like tube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was short too. It was like shorter than like a baton. Not a baton. What do they call those?
Pipe.
Those
The
are retractable
the-
ones that come out. I forget what they're called.
well,
yeah.
like before
It's a
they
baton.
before
Yeah,
they
it's
used to
just a
not be
baton.
rich. Oh, it was a
Yeah, it's just
baton.
a baton,
Okay,
yeah.
I was thinking baton is that thing that you hand in a race.
I mean, that's also baton as well.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're
Yeah.
both called
Yeah.
batons.
Both
Okay.
batons.
It
Yeah.
just seems weird that
Retractable
those
baton.
both- that they
Yeah,
both should
that's
be
what you would
called
call
that.
it.
I
What
just
a
call 'em,
weird-
They probably called the other one
I just call 'em beat
retractable.
down stick.
Nah.
Beat somebody
Well, just
down.
like oh, like the SWAT teams would have.
Yeah.
That's what
They
I was
have
trying to
beat-down
say.
sticks, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
so they
But yeah.
save that girl. I think did they say her name yet?
Michelle.
No.
He,
Yeah.
he
Oh,
yells
these,
it out.
oh yeah,
when
he's yelling out
outside,
Michelle
yelling
when he's
out
trying to
for
find
her.
her.
Yeah.
So
Although I still listed her in here as blonde.
so they grab her and like take her like away from him, and they all make a run for the outside because the timer's about to go off.
See, okay, this is where I'm like, this is a bit. I feel like this is a bit not like wrong in their area because she doesn't have she doesn't have any knowledge of what's going on.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't know that she can't get back. She
Mhm.
doesn't know what's going on. They're literally just like jump through this tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without giving her choice of it or not. You know? That I think is wrong.
Yeah. So Michelle's played by actress named Rebecca Chambers. I guess she was in Father of the Bride, Part 2, it says. I don't remember who she plays in there.
She play the daughter? No, the daughter's played by the same
She
chick,
plays
right?
a young woman. That's all it says.
Oh, she's just like an extra.
Okay.
Yeah, and then she's in the show called The Pretender. She was in a TV series called The Pretender that ran from 96 to 2000.
Oh, I remember. I never watched that show, but I remember the name of the show.
Anything that I can see that like she didn't work too much.
What about LJ? What was he in? Because he also looked familiar to me.
We don't see his character.
We're about to see LJ right now. We can talk about him.
So the guys,
they go through the
we
portal.
didn't see him when he told them to stay with the car.
No, you do, but it's like really quick. I feel
like very brief.
Yeah,
so quick that I didn't even realize that was him in the New World.
I didn't realize that either.
Yeah.
I was just like, they know him, I guess. So
okay,
but so they open
up the portal and
they
then
all go through.
They decide to bring Michelle with there because if she stayed there, they were afraid that he was going to kill her.
Well, I guess she tells him that. She was like, "Oh, thanks to you. Like now, he's probably gonna kill me now."
Yeah. So they decide to bring her with her, and then I was gonna call him Negan.
Kidnap her from her world,
pretty much, because like there's no going back.
Yeah.
But I guess that world didn't seem too great anyways with all the war going on. So,
but then this, I mean,
but I guess that kind of
just
sucks.
this one section of this world.
I guess it
to
kind
be
of
fair.
Like, how else would you get
That's
out?
the only world she knows, so that's kind of messed up on their part just for taking
Yeah.
her. But I guess they thought they were doing the right thing, and maybe they were. But I guess we'll find out later on. Maybe.
But yeah, so they all jump in.
And then Sid comes. I know I was gonna call him Negan too. Sid comes like stumbling out of the warehouse, and then he sees the portal, and he's kind of like, "What the hell is this?" And then he goes into it stays open long enough for him to get in as well.
Again, it's just supposed to be a minute, but like it's a good like 5 minutes.
It's never a minute
because he's just like
it's a minute in TV time, not in real time.
Oh well, someone should make a study of that.
I know, right?
A minute in TV
what is a minute in TV time?
You know?
Yeah,
so they go through.
They go through,
and then the opening.
They play the opening theme, and then it opens up, and they're like in a.
God,
they're in San Francisco.
I still didn't even.
Are they really in? Are they really in San Francisco for these shots?
I don't think so.
I was wondering,
they just
like,
show like the background.
What
they always show
building?
like the background.
I was wondering that if that's a real building. I was just wondering if that was in San
It's
Francisco.
probably a building in
Toronto.
A building in Toronto where they filmed.
Or is it Vancouver?
Vancouver, I think. Yeah.
Maybe.
So it's probably like it's all Canada.
I'm gonna Google it.
You want to Google it?
Yeah, because it was a really nice looking.
Yeah,
place. But anyway, so yeah,
like the interior kind of reminded me of like the inside of the convention center, the LA Convention Center, like all the bars, the
bars. It did
stuff.
definitely look like a convention
center.
Probably.
Yeah. I think in the later seasons they do use a convention center for a couple shots here and there.
What did we just see that they used the convention center in as an airport? Oh, in that
Red
movie.
Eye?
Yeah, no.
Oh,
was it Red Eye?
No, not Red Eye. It was something else.
I think it was that movie.
Oh, Christmas with the Cranks. That's where they
it makes sense. I think it looks like
because it does have like a airporty look to it. So I get it.
Yeah.
I guess it was like no discernible kind of like.
They didn't say what buildings it was.
That's what I'm trying to.
You would have to Google Glass it. You'd have to like pull up the picture and then like have to look up the picture.
Well, yeah. So they teleport in, right?
Yeah, so they teleport in, and then you see that LJ, his character.
Yes, he's sitting on a bench. He's playing chess, right, with another dude.
Chess or checkers, I think.
Checkers, I think.
Yeah. So he sees them come in. He kind of looks like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then so LJ is played by Claude Brooks. That's what it says here. He played. Claude Brooks is best known for Hip Hop Harry in 2006's Bullfinger. And he was also in 1999's and the Tony Rock Project.
So there's another small.
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. No, Hip Hop Harry's 2006, Bullfinger was 1999, and Tony Rock Project was 2008. Hip Hop Harry, I don't know, so 2006.
Yeah,
but Bullfinger
just like Bullfinger. I feel like sounds
he
familiar,
plays
right?
Freddy in that one. So I haven't seen Bowfinger in a while, but I
Oh.
have to probably watch it and check it out.
That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, so LJ sees him come in, and he's kind of like takes an interest, like
No,
seeing them come in.
nobody's freaked out about this. Like
What?
seemingly,
No, not really. I guess
Everyone
I mean,
takes
the
it pretty
only one
well
who
actually this
really-
episode because even
Yeah.
Yeah,
then after
Nobody's-
Sid comes in and like the professor explains it to
he's
him,
just chill.
they're very chill, which
Yeah,
I like, and
everybody
it's
just
like
kinda
it's
takes
fair.
it.
I guess I mean like how else do you take? I would probably take a chill. I've already gone through the fucking portal, so
That's true.
I'm like okay, I guess so.
yeah.
Yeah.
So so they all come out, and then of course Sid comes out, and he's like already he pulls out his gun.
He should have been
He's
in a
gonna-
different section. For how long?
It was. Is that
Oh.
how
Yeah.
it is? Is that what?
I mean,
we're
that's what
deeming
happened
it?
that
I
one
thought it was-
time when they split that one time
That's
in the 70s
true.
one.
Yeah. So what are the rules of this
Well,
portal?
I don't know. Well,
I for a long time did think it was like wherever you portal out from, like that's the respective place in like the new dimension.
Yeah.
So if you portal out from the wharf, you end up in the wharf.
Which
It
they
looks
were,
like it's-
right? Because they were near
don't-
water when they
yeah,
had
I
done
don't
that,
know. It's
right?
weird. It's just kind of like
but it's true. Sometimes they
random.
do end up like in Summer of Love. They
where
ended
they
up,
get
like,
split up.
They split up, right? Yeah.
I think they just got split up just because it got split up because the timer had and the
Story.
portal had closed, remember, and Quinn had to reopen it again. I'm surprised
Oh,
he even
did
ended up
he?
on the same world.
Was
Yeah,
that what
yeah.
happened in
Uh-huh.
Summer of Love? Really?
Remember, it was malfunctioning, and it couldn't
Oh,
hold the power. And
you're
then I think
right.
Rembrandt and Wade went in first, and then it just closed up, and then he had to hurry up to get it back on again to get out to before those killer, was it
Killer
Oh, the
Wasp.
killer
killer
wasp.
wasp
They
thingies?
were-
Wasp
it was
spiders.
The wasp
Spider
spiders, yeah,
wasps.
spider
There
wasps.
we go.
So then they jumped in, and then
Oh, and then he was.
yeah, it was
But
just,
then it's still like you're not portaling out from where, or you're not portaling in from where you portaled out.
no, you're still within San Francisco, but like it's just random wherever you're gonna
the
land.
timer is like, I have a general idea of where you're at.
I'm all like, look,
That's
I know you
weird.
jumped in here, but you're not gonna.
You're gonna love the
you're not gonna
scenery
land there.
over
This
here.
is a better
This
spot,
is
trust
better
me.
views. Yeah, I wonder what or is it? Well, I don't know how time and space works, I guess, but I'm like, maybe it's like coordinates. I don't know.
Yeah, so Sid comes out, and he's like, obviously wants to go after Quinn, so he goes after him, and then LJ kind of comes in and breaks it up. And
Yeah.
and tells him, "Yo, you better relax."
And then he's all mad at LJ. 'cause
And then
he's like,
Sid
"I
knows
told
him. He's
you."
like, "Hey, LJ, I thought I told you to stay with the car." He's
yeah.
all like, "I don't know who you're talking to, but that
He was
wasn't
like,
me."
oh yeah, he was like, that's wrong. He's like the wrong guy. But and then he says a thing where which kind of piqued my
Who, LJ?
oh yeah,
Oh,
LJ.
there's a
He's like, you want to knock
janitor.
it off? No, he goes, do you want to knock it off, or you're gonna get us all in trouble? Which made you think like this was already kind of like a world with a lot of rules.
Yeah, or like
Like
they're
I
being
almost
watched.
yeah, like
Yeah.
a world where you're being watched and like it dictates what everyone else is doing.
Yeah. So LJ kind of becomes their tour guide.
Mhm.
He kind of
Yeah.
starts taking him around.
Yeah. Which at first, did you have any? Did you remember the episode or no?
Oh yeah, I remember this episode.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Xander, what did you think were his intentions with Did you
With
think they
them?
were nefarious?
I thought originally he was just gonna put him in jail, but then I guess you find out that the whole world is all of it is the jail. So
I
doesn't
know,
matter.
I couldn't figure out. Like I couldn't
You-
figure out in the beginning whether it was.
I think by the
something in it
time
for him
you get to the
or-
tunnels, that's
yeah,
that
that's
I'm
definitely
like,
where
okay,
you're
that's the
like,
setup.
oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
initially
was-
it seems like he was actually trying
Trying
to
to
help
help
for the
him
most
out, you know?
part, yeah,
that's
I
true.
mean, I guess he was up to a point.
yeah, yeah.
So he's walking around with them, and you see like a bunch of different signs up saying about like
Different things not to
yeah,
do.
different.
Oh yeah, one of
different
the
ones.
one I thought was weird was thank you for not standing in one place
Yeah, it
too
says
long.
it says we appreciate that you chose
I
not to
get
stand
that.
in the same place for long periods.
Yeah, I thought that was like an interesting.
Yeah, that
one.
was a weird.
And then he talks about like you need to get. He kind of takes him a little bit away, and then he's like, "Here, are buddy bracelets."
yeah, he needs buddy bracelets. And
Oh,
then he like
yeah.
opens up his jacket, and then he's got like
these
a whole
little
bunch of them,
bracelets, Yeah.
Mhm.
and they're all like,
so does that mean he's consistently walking around with those bracelets?
I guess just in
I
case.
guess, but and then
But
he's
why?
all like, well, you know, how much are these? He's like, don't worry, it's on the G.
On the
Oh,
government.
no,
Oh
I
no, he's
thought-
talking about
no,
they're
it-
talking about the housing.
That
when he
was the
says that.
housing.
No.
Before he said that it was gratis. He's like, no, this is gratis.
Oh,
And then
Yeah.
and so that's when I was kind of like, that's usually it's free because of something. Because
Yeah.
something,
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I thought like maybe they were gonna be in some sort of like games or I don't know.
yeah. So
And he
he hooks them all up with the little buddy bracelets,
Yeah.
and
Which
then
I was like,
at first you
buddy
don't know what
bracelets?
they're for. They just you have to have them
Yeah.
because I guess they check because they go past the checkpoint and everybody's kind of showing their bracelet that they have them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were I wonder about the rules of this place. Because
Well, they kind of briefly go into it a little bit later on.
a little bit. You understand what
Does
the
the buddy system actually ever get spoken to?
Yes, they do.
Oh,
speak
really?
Yeah.
I don't
yeah.
remember. I just remember
Yeah, a little bit
In
later.
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
So they go past the checkpoint.
Oh, and then an earthquake happened.
Oh,
Like
which
a
is just the
little-
Yeah,
camera
it's like-
fucking shaking.
yeah, that's what it was, right?
So
Well, no,
lame.
they
Like, let's
brace
chase the camera.
themselves.
They brace
Yeah.
themselves, but if you look at the background, they're
Nothing.
Like,
regular people
nothing's
just
moving.
there's people you can see them, and they're just regularly walking. And I'm like, great job, guys.
They're like, look, how can we do this cheap?
Yeah.
What?
Just shake
Yeah.
the
Do you
camera.
think that's just some guy who's like?
Yes, it is the cameraman just
They
fucking
just
kinda go
shaking
like
the
that.
camera.
It's
Yes.
Oh, really? I
I
thought it
have
was
it on
because I'm
something.
like, is it the camera? I guess you know what my assumption is always the camera's on somebody's shoulder, but that's not true. Huh?
Oh,
It's
it
usually
should.
on
No.
brains.
Like crane, but just like on something.
Yeah, like
you know?
like it's you think it's like the
Stabilized.
news or even the news people don't
They
even
don't
like
do
have
that
it on their
anymore, huh?
shoulder.
I feel
It's just like on a thing when they're doing a report
It's true. I
on
do
a
feel
tripod
like
or
It's on
it's like
something.
tripod, yeah.
1980s, like they're always on someone's shoulder. Well, that makes I'm sure they
No.
moved past that a lot. No, I'm sure they
That
didn't
probably
even really
back
do that like
problems.
back
They
in the day.
they do have things now where like they have them on people, but it's not on their shoulder. It's more like a chest
On the
ridge
chest,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, but I'm
And-
thinking about that. But when they would film westerns, they didn't have it wasn't on somebody's shoulder. It was still
No.
like on the
Yeah, it was still like on a
contraption.
track.
So I don't know why
It's on
I
track.
always picture that
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I
they
gotta get with the times.
yeah, so they get past the checkpoint and LJ's kind of like giving them the lowdown on stuff. And
Oh, so this is where we see the building, right? And then
Which part of it?
Professor makes after the earthquake. Professor makes this joke about the building, which I just did not understand.
what does he say?
He goes, try keeping. He's like, imagine trying to keep the water off of that surface. And he kind of giggles to himself. So I know it's a joke, but I was
Is
like,
the building flat?
well, it was that
Or
like,
it slides?
It was that one that had like, I don't know. It was,
Does
it
it
was
slide?
Which
it
one?
was
Was
like
it that
the
one
main
with the
building,
big dome?
With the
one that was,
glass?
like,
Well, yeah, that's the joke, because
so
you
he-
can't.
But no, he goes, imagine trying to keep, and he does like this little like hand movement.
Yeah.
And he's like saying it to Rembrandt. And you can tell Rembrandt's like, I don't even know what that
He's
is.
like, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just like a
It's
little joke. Like,
yeah.
Yeah. So then they all pile into this little golf cart, and he's kind of like
they have
taking them
electric
around.
little golf carts.
And Quinn's kind of telling him, they're only going to be here for a little bit. They'll be leaving soon. And then
I
he
guess I
he
forgot.
asked to take them to the Dominion Hotel because that's where they wanted to go.
Mhm.
But I think he had said that portion of it was off limits or something. What is it? I forget what
Something
he
like
says.
that. He does say,
Yeah.
but I forgot. We passed over. The professor ends up telling. We mentioned it a little bit, but the professor ends up
Oh,
explaining
to
what
Sid.
the portal to Sid. What
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like how it works.
and he just immediately calms down, and he's kind of like, all right.
He's like, whatever.
Yeah. He's just like walking along with them.
Yeah. So he taking them around, and then he takes them to
The
This
annex.
one- yeah. Doesn't he? Is this before he gets them housing?
No, he's taking them to
taking
the
them to get
To
house.
the
housing,
housing.
right?
Yeah. So he's taking them to the housing. They get in there, and then Sid tells Quinn this like that it's not over between us. It's not like chill.
Yeah.
between them.
Yeah.
And
Well,
then
before-
he takes them to the housing.
And then he bribes one of the ladies there with like a pack of cigarettes.
Oh, is
So
that
like,
help
okay?
him with
I
the
didn't
housing?
even
Yeah.
even see that. Then I probably was writing something down.
Lame
But yeah,
well,
and she,
that's what they usually. That's
Oh,
always,
because
like,
it's a prison.
the
That's
thing.
right.
Yeah,
I didn't even
that's
think
what
about
they
because
use
it's a
that.
prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but
There's commissary dollars.
well, I guess you haven't. So you have.
Wait, is she part of the prison?
That's what I'm wondering.
I don't
now.
know.
Is it just a prison
She
job?
works- maybe she works it and gets some sort of perks for doing that.
Yeah, like
Then
when
why
you
would
like when you
cigarettes
make like
right
the
here?
license plates and shit.
Also, what I think it's
Yeah.
really. Oh, so as
Maybe
it
for
is, yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
maybe for commissary or something like that.
Yeah.
As it is, she's so there he does. He's like, oh, it's no. it's no trouble. It's like low. They're leaving tomorrow, and she's kind of like, all right, whatever,
Yeah.
because they're not registered. So
Oh,
she
yeah.
has to like get them to sign and leave a fingerprint for their rooms, and she
Yeah.
gives them the room number.
Yeah, and I think like a key card. I think,
No,
too.
they don't have a
No
key.
card?
No key
Oh,
cards.
that's
There's
right.
there's no
Yeah.
locks.
They asked about the key, and they're like, "You don't need no key."
No one steals
Nobody
any-
steals
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's when, and then so they're inside, and that's when he's like, "This is government housing,"
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, look how nice it looks."
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like, "I don't think we can afford this place."
Yeah.
And then that's when he tells them, "Oh yeah, it's on the government.
G.
It's on the G."
hmm
Um.
So yeah, they get inside, and then Negan ends up like threatening Quinn, right? Like he pushes him
But
into that wall.
before that, he's like,
He's all
the
lovey-dovey with
girl,
Michelle.
Michelle's like, "Oh, did you hear that? Nobody locks their doors. We can be rich here."
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
she starts
she's like
scheming.
already scheming, like, "Oh, we can start robbing
And then
people."
they start like being
Start
all
making
close.
out.
Yeah.
And then if I
And
was
then
Quinn, I'd be like,
everybody's kind of like,
"What the hell?
Yeah.
Waste my time saving you if you're just gonna like get all cozy with him again."
Yeah, and so then that's when he's like, he decides he's gonna walk out, and
Oh, yeah.
and he tells Quinn like, "When I come back, you're gonna send me back home."
hmm
Oh yeah. So then he Sid just takes off, and
But
then
yeah, he chokes. Poor guy gets choked out by Sid, and then when he leaves, the professor starts yelling at him.
Oh, he's like, if you want sympathy, you're not, yeah,
you're not gonna get it from me. He's like, because I essentially told you to leave it alone, and you didn't.
Yeah. So he pretty much like telling him, "Oh, you brought the situation on yourself."
Yeah,
Mhm.
like this is kind of your fault. I was like, poor guy almost died. Like he was
choking him,
while.
but then I think he tells him, "If you want to get out of here,"
like he's the one that knows how, how to work it. But yeah, then I was like, then he's getting yelled at, and then obviously he gets upset and he kind of goes outside for some air.
Yeah, and then Michelle goes out there to talk to him.
Yeah,
and I forget what she says to him, but
she just says, I think, like, thanks.
I guess like thanks for like saving her, but I don't know. And then she kisses him.
She does kiss him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
They're like outside. Right?
Yeah.
What happens?
And he just like lets her kiss
Why
him.
are they outside?
He wanted some fresh air. I think he was upset. Like, I
Oh.
think obviously that rattled him, and then the professor yelling at him, like,
Yeah.
obviously upset him too.
He's like, "Why is everybody yelling at me?"
He's like, why is everybody mad at me right now?
He's
And
all-
then it's them in their room after, right? Like they check into their room, right?
Well, they don't.
Well,
I guess
I don't
you
know.
just go
Are
inside.
they
just go
I
inside?
think they're in
Yeah.
the room, and then that.
Oh no, the guy comes to
yeah, the
register
guy comes
them.
to activate their
Yeah,
their
which
buddy
is in their
bracelets.
room.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Oh, was that their room?
that's
I
the
think so,
room.
yeah,
That's
that's
why I
their
said
room.
It looked
whenever
like
I'm.
the lobby
is
to me. So I was
sleeping.
like, why do they keep just staying in the lobby?
No, I think that's just like the living room of the.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So this is
room.
where you kind of like figure out the whole buddy bracelet system. The guy walks in and kind of like he's so Wade is
after he sets all the buddies.
yeah.
That's when you find out that like if your buddy bracelet goes off, because the guy
If they break the law, if they do something illegal, if your buddy
if
breaks
you break the rules,
you're also held accountable as well.
Which do we not see with that one dude?
Yeah,
they
that
shoot? They never
happens
show
right
his
now.
buddy?
No,
But
that's
but see, that's
well,
the
no,
thing.
they
So
didn't
you
show the
hear-
other buddy.
They didn't show the buddy. You hear that do you see that there's a
Oh.
flash of it, and then he goes, "Oh, curfew break."
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
even that late.
Yeah, I don't know.
Curfew break.
Maybe
and so
his
then they're
buddy
like, take
broke
care
it.
of him, and
Yeah.
then the
Yeah.
guy just shoots him.
Yeah,
I thought he was the one that broke curfew.
I don't know if he was or
No,
maybe.
but I
his
guess
buddy
not, 'cause
was.
there's other people
Later on,
there.
later on you hear them go
About the other guy?
That's when LJ is like explaining it to him. He's like, "Oh, you mean that guy didn't even break the rules? It was his buddy."
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's when you find out. Oh, so I think what Wade's buddy is Michelle,
Mhm.
and then Remy and the professor are buddied up, and then of course Quinn
Quinn
gets
gets
stuck
stuck
with
with
Sid.
Sid.
I was like, "He's done."
And then
for, man.
they show Sid. He's just somewhere smoking a cigarette, and his bracelet starts to beep, and he kind of looks at it like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he has no idea what's up.
And so
Mhm.
then that's when they're kind of they see the guy get killed, and then that's when they're kind of like, "Oh, we need to hurry up and go find Sid." so
Yeah,
that-
'cause before he does something stupid, which
Yeah.
he probably is.
yeah. So that's what it is. That's when they go like, "Oh, you mean he didn't even break the rules? His buddy did." He was like, "Yeah, but he was held accountable."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
That was a good system, actually. I kind of weirdly think.
Is it?
Yeah, because the whole idea. I mean, the idea of it makes sense, where it's like you don't want to fuck up because then you're fucking over someone
No,
else.
you are watching your buddy It's not about like I feel.
Oh, I feel
'cause
like
they're
I
all
would.
criminals. They're all
I think
criminals.
it
They
depends
don't
on the
feel-
degree of crime. How intense of a crime do you actually have to be put into the prison? Have they ever?
Well, we find out in
they've-
the therapy session with that one woman.
Yeah, but that's
before.
it. So we actually don't know how severe of a crime you have to do
Well, I
to
mean, I
really
would
get in
assume-
there.
Well, I would assume
I
they
think
would
it's
have
just
to
the
carry
way
a
of,
life
like,
sentence.
I think the buddy system
I
they
don't
just
think
kind of
so.
use as like a deterrent, like for people doing crime. Because
Would it be a deterrent?
In theory,
I think in theory it would only be it would only help for you to tattle on your buddy.
will it though?
That's
No,
Because
I
you're
wouldn't
held
tattle.
accountable. Why would you tattle on your own
because
buddy?
if you tattle on your buddy, you get leniency.
oh, that's right.
Maybe.
We do
I
see
don't
that
know.
later
Yeah.
on. That's right.
So
That was
yeah,
they
I
right.
guess
tell
they
you
have
to
a neighborhood
report-
watch system set
Yeah.
up where if somebody sees somebody doing something illegal or they shouldn't be, then they report them to get like perks and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think that's the only thing that helps. I don't think it actually deters you from committing a crime.
Yeah, but I think it
Maybe
you
in
know
the
what
way
it
that
probably
you know that
does?
somebody's looking at you and that they're going to tell
I
on
think
you.
people-
But I don't think you don't feel responsible for the other
Yeah.
person.
I'm sure
mean, you're in
people still
criminal
try to
law.
do stuff. They just try to do it like on the low, so they don't
Oh,
get
that's
caught.
true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we find out later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
yeah,
All right, so we see that guy get shot, and
And
then
then so that's when he's all like, why don't you that's when you find out that also they keep having those earthquakes and they're gonna have this is why I think everybody there has to have at least a life sentence or has to have a life sentence.
yeah,
Because they know that there's gonna be a big earthquake, they're overdue for a big earthquake, and that earthquake's gonna set them into the ocean.
yeah,
Yeah.
that the whole of
And
San
that's-
Francisco has been evacuated, and it's a whole maximum security prison.
and that's
It's called Domino Bay.
because he's
right?
like, you know you're gonna die, why don't you leave?
That's what it is.
And then
It's
he's
like they would if they could, but
he's
then
like, I can't. He's like, what do you mean I can't go? And
don't
then
they do
that's-
like a huge like
Pan
They
out.
do a very
pan-out
big
shot?
shot, which I feel is unnecessary at all. Like
it's just to show you the wall and like how like
Was there
there's
a
prison.
wall?
Yeah,
There
yeah,
was
there
a
was like a
wall.
whole
it's
wall.
like
But-
there's that one thing on the left, but then I was like,
No, so they
okay.
had it on both sides. It was kind
yeah,
of
it
like
kind of
V that
goes like
comes
that,
out.
comes out like
And what I
that.
thought was funny was that the right side looked really bad. Like you could tell it was like just like a pose
the
on it.
only left
the left
part.
side
The left side
kind of
looks
okay,
like
yeah, the
I
left
only
side
noticed the
looked
left,
okay.
and I was like, okay, I kind of
But
get
the right
it. But
side looked real bad.
yeah,
But yeah, it does pan out. And you
Yeah,
see,
just
like,
to kind of
there's a
so
wall
she can
over
get like the
everything.
gravity of like, okay, this is a prison.
mhm,
Yeah.
yeah.
So then
Are we split into 3 groups after this, or is it just 2
well,
groups?
I think the guy
Yes, because the
LJ
girls have
tells
to
the girls
stay
have
because
they
they have
have
group
therapy.
they have group therapy. So they leave them and then they go off to find Sid.
Okay.
No, well, I think LJ goes with Quinn.
And then,
And
the,
then the
professor
professor and
go on their
Rembrandt
own.
kinda go off on
their own.
Everybody sticks with their buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But Rembrandt and Professor start having that conversation, and
Oh,
the
that
professor's like,
professor reminds me of Switzerland.
oh yeah, where he's like, because they don't know it's a prison, and he
Yeah,
was
they
like,
don't know
it's
yet.
kind of strict rules, but at least the strict rules gives you some sort of peace of mind.
Yeah.
But then he also tells them like, we need to all have a group conversation after this, because
Oh yeah, about getting in. Yeah.
yeah.
And he kind of explains that the timer was originally designed for 3 people, and that every time you add another person, it kind
they
of
took that van.
yeah, I know.
That's the next episode, technically in order.
Oh, that's true.
Next
Well,
episode
he
they
tells
do that.
Rembrandt that every time we take more people, it's a greater chance of them getting like I guess
Separated
Yeah,
or,
but
but
or
definitely
off?
definitely separated. Yeah, for
Just
sure.
separated, I would say.
I
But,
know. I think
um,
that just like in all 3, I thought it was like just getting like your own
The way he
body
says it,
dismembered,
it's
right?
yeah, he says like spread like thin jam or something like
Yeah.
Oh,
Like essentially them dying in this kind of portal.
that. Yeah, maybe like you're like
spaghetti.
atomized or
Like you get
something
spaghetti.
Like that. Who
What is it
knows?
called when you like a black hole? You get spaghetti.
Oh, like
Spaghetti. I love spaghetti.
you got spaghetti dinner and a black hole?
Let's get more people in here. I want more spaghetti.
Spaghetti eyes. Spaghetti eyes. What is it called?
I don't know,
But you
but
know, like when you
yeah. So
When
they're
you're,
like,
like,
okay,
get split. right?
Yeah,
And you're like,
I guess so.
you're forever.
I mean, like string
dying.
cheese.
Yeah, like that's the yeah.
It's the string cheese theory. Yes, I know what you're talking about. So yeah,
oh, and
so
then
the,
they come across that basketball. People
oh
playing
yeah,
basketball.
Rembrandt and
Rembrandt
the
and the
professor.
professor.
There's like a
Yeah.
game going on. You see like 2 guys. That one guy kind of looks back and notices them, And he's like, look at these new guys, I'm gonna scare them. So he gets his knife and he throws it at one of the signs, the one that says thank you for not standing in the same place too long, and it sticks into the sign right next to the professor.
Yeah.
Who doesn't even like flinch?
Yeah, he didn't even phase him.
I mean, they've been through a lot.
Yeah, he's
Right?
like, yeah.
Like, it's like whatever.
Yeah, that doesn't even flinch. No one gets scared.
He's been captured.
Yeah, even
That's
Rembrandt's like,
Yeah.
what? Like
Rembrandt
whatever.
keeps the knife.
Yeah, he
too.
keeps
Yeah, he takes it.
He pulls the knife. What the guy
I
tells him.
think they're
"Hey."
all jaded for the
I
most
know,
part.
just like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Besides, like, what's her name? Oh my god,
Wade?
Wade. It's the only one I feel like who
Who
still has
still
like
gets worried?
optimistic. Well, she's also like the most optimistic. I feel. of the
Not only
bunch.
that, but then the professor just straight up like
He's
right?
like
Kind of. Oh,
he
like he'll
threatens to
snitch.
tattle on them. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
with the neighborhood watch,
Yeah.
and I think these guys are about to do something bad.
They're doing something shady over here.
And then you see one of the security guards kind of like, oh, I think we might have a situation here. And then the other guy kind of backs down and
Yeah.
tells them, okay, we're not done yet. We're like, oh.
No one's done in this.
Yeah.
It's all about
I'll
unresolved
see
issues.
you later.
This episode.
And then, yeah, that's when Rembrandt's all like, he kind of goes like that and he keeps
He
keeps the knife.
Like, he just kind of waves it out, yeah. With like a little smirk on him too.
Yeah.
And then then we cut to the therapy
Session.
Yeah, the therapy session, and of course, Wade's like upset at her for still cozying up to Sid because she's just like, this guy is obviously abusive to you. Like, why are you? And that's when I think that's also when she kind of gives them the backstory of how he came
Like,
into her life when she
yeah.
had nothing.
And he pretty much like took care of her. I guess in that world that, that's the best she could do.
Yeah.
And then Wade tells her, well, you're not on that world anymore.
Yeah.
So like, there's no excuse anymore.
Because she's all like, what's the point? Like, everybody's kind of abusive on that world. And she's like, well, not on my world.
Yeah.
And then that's when she's like, well, so, and then they sit down, and then the woman,
the one who's leading the group is like, oh, let's have some of our new members. She's like, oh, I see some new faces out there. Let's have some of the new members introduce themselves and
and
tell
then you
us their
find out
story.
that woman.
Oh, there's a
got-
one lady who was there when they were getting coffee, and
So
donuts.
so she tells her why she's there, and so she got 35 to life because she murdered her husband.
Poisoned
her. Well, I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
poisoned her
yeah,
husband
like-
because he cheated on her
With the
the
babysitter.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's why I think I would assume they all have life sentences.
Yeah, and then the group girl lady stops her. He's like, "No, we don't blame the victim."
Yeah.
And she kind of looks.
She's
at her
like, we
"I'll
don't blame the
kill you,
victim.
bitch."
And then she's like, what else did you got? Who else? What other crimes did you guys commit to get in prison? And that's when the girls figure out what's going on.
Oh, she's like, oh, let's hear from the woman in red, which was Wade.
Yeah.
And then they kind of cut from them right there. But I was like, I want to hear what she had to say. I want to see what story she
maybe
was going to make
What
up.
story would you have brought
I
up?
don't know.
You had
You
to
have
make
to
up
make
like a
yourself look
story on the
tough.
spot.
You don't.
You're
This
on.
prison's pretty big, actually. The odds of you bumping into someone.
He's all,
see,
I
here's-
killed a bus full of nuns.
But okay, so this is my thing. Now that we know for sure they're in a prison, right?
Uh-huh.
How is it that all these people? So 6 people come into the world.
Mhm.
Because there's that guy that comes to register them, and he's part of the
prison system.
The prison
Yeah.
system. How is he not like? How did you guys get in here without being registered? Like, how does he not even bat?
You
an
just
eye
watch
at
them
that?
come out of the port. Oh, which?
Oh,
The guy,
the
the guy
janitor
with
who
the cane. By the way,
activates-
nice cane.
Yeah, cocaine.
He's
Oh, yeah.
like,
It's double sided.
It looks
Yeah.
like it's got buttons on it too, right?
I'm sure it does something. Yeah.
well, it's responsible for the bracelets.
Yeah.
Like, that
Oh, okay.
registers the bracelets.
Okay, so register. Yeah,
But
I don't
How
know.
does he know? Like, how are you guys not?
I'm
Like,
sure
who are
it
you? What are your names? What are you
happens.
here for? Or something like that. Yeah, but I don't know.
But I
He
guess
just-
it's a whole
doesn't
city,
come
so
up.
he's
It's like
just
a whole
like,
city. Yeah. It's like,
I don't know, but
Maybe-
I would
maybe-
imagine you would have some sort of
Maybe
like,
he thinks they transfer from a different sector or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who knows?
maybe he's all whatever. I don't care.
He's
We're
like,
all
I'm just gonna
die
activate your
anyway."
bracelets, whatever. So then from there it cuts back to LJ and Quinn when
it's nighttime now, right?
It's nighttime now, and they're still trying to find Sid, and they're looking at checking ATMs,
Yeah.
Yeah.
they are.
and then
Oh, because Michelle had said he was going to be wherever the money was.
yeah,
Mhm.
so that's what they're searching different ATMs to see if he's gonna rob somebody.
Which he does.
So
Yeah.
does so I'm guessing this whole prison is run like a little city then?
Yeah, because
why
you
would
can
you
still
do
that? Or a
access
city.
the system for money.
Which I'm assuming is for the canteen. That was my assumption that was
Yeah.
canteen money.
Probably.
Yeah.
But
So
like what a weird.
so then you see this guy like going up to the ATM, and then
Mm-hmm.
Sid comes up behind him and like has the gun. And he's like, "All right, give me the money."
I wonder what
And,
he was in there for, because he was real scared. He gave up.
Well,
He
I'm
gave up
saying.
To be
real
fair,
quick.
I guess he has a gun
Sid
to
has
him.
the gun.
That's true.
A weird looking gun.
Yeah, right. It does.
That's
look
a
weird.
weird. Do you think being in another
It's a very
world, you clock
sci-fi
that as a
gun.
gun?
Yeah, because it's still got the
Oh,
general
Which is,
shape.
I don't
of
know
the
why
gun.
his gun looks like that, because her gun
looks like a
normal,
regular gun.
regular
Right? Like
gun.
a regular gun.
Yeah.
He looked like he was gonna have some sort of laser
Maybe
gun.
on that world
It's like a
there's,
plus
different
sign,
styles.
right? Like it is
Yeah.
a plus sign as his muzzle.
Maybe his gun was more of a military.
I thought it was like a
military gun or
silence, like a
something like
custom
that.
made silencer, like what he could make in
Like
that
a makeshift
world.
gun,
Yeah, like a
yeah.
makeshift silencer.
Maybe, but then it doesn't have a silencer because he shoots the camera and it's fucking loud as hell.
I know.
And then that Quinn and then LJ find him and it's already too late. And then LJ's like, "That's it, man. His ship sailed. Let's get the hell out of
Oh
here."
no,
Yeah.
I think they find him before
He was
Before,
holding up.
right?
Yeah, right before, and they're like, "Knock it off," and he's like,
He's all, "Sid,
"Whatever."
don't."
And Quinn's like, I think that's when he like shoots the thing, and Quinn's like, "You're crazy, man.
You're a crazy boy.
You're crazy."
And then
Like, what a
I'm like,
lie.
of course he's crazy.
You're crazy, man. And then that's when he's like, "Oh, we gotta go."
He's
'cause-
got like book it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then Sid pulls the money out of the ATM, and it
It's red.
doesn't. It's is it like kind of like a
It's
reddish?
red,
Yeah,
like a
I wonder
red.
if they
White
reused.
white,
like-
white on red.
yeah.
You think they
or
reused
red
some of
on
the
white.
money from the Soviet
Russian-
world?
No, because the Soviet
that
money is
was
still
paper,
it's still
yeah.
green
Still pretty.
too.
Yeah.
isn't
No,
it? Yeah.
no, it was red.
Oh, it was red.
Yeah, it was red.
It was, but the paper.
The paper itself is still like money paper.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
it was
and all
just
that.
like the printing on it was red instead of green.
Yeah.
This it was like
This is
red.
probably just regular white paper,
They
white sheet
literally
paper.
just
with,
used
like,
a printer. And
They
they
just,
just, like, white paper
photocopied
with
a
it,
bunch.
Yeah. They're like, go.
And then he gets mad. He's like, "What is this?" He's all, it's
It's
the wrong color. And I was telling you, I was like, imagine if he was in the Soviet world, he'd be really mad.
But then, so again, so he knows he's on another world.
I guess he was expecting
I
it to
think
look
you
the
still
same,
expect money. Yeah, money's gonna look the same.
Money's gonna look the same.
Which
but
on
that's not the case.
some worlds.
Yeah, I
he was
guess
gonna-
because it does transfer over on some worlds because they take cash from
apparently
other
bank
worlds.
accounts also transfer to other worlds.
I know, huh?
For whatever reason.
So then so they're going. LJ's taking Quinn back, and he's trying to, they're
Trying to
driving away.
hide his bracelet, by the way.
Oh, well,
'cause
his
it's-
bracelet starts going
because
off,
it
Yeah.
starts going off. So
He
then,
tries
they,
to-
so
And
then
then-
LJ kicks him
and then
out.
LJ's
He's
all
"I
like, "You
can't
gotta
be
get
seen
out."
with you."
He's
Can't
all like-
blame him.
He's
I
like, "You gotta hide
know.
that thing." He's like, "But I thought they were supposed to see it, like be able to see it." He's like, "At night, the only way they're gonna notice it if it's blinking."
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he tells him like, "What
That's
the hell am I
actually
supposed to
the
do?"
worst time for it to go off.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
at nighttime.
Yeah.
So much more noticeable.
But then it's also making noise. It's like
Oh,
making a
does
low like
it?
beeping noise. It's
Yeah,
all
I
beep,
think
beep,
it's like
beep,
very
beep, beep,
small amount.
Oh, it's literally like a little pager, huh? It
Yeah.
makes like that kind of
beep. Yeah, kind of. And it's not as
Well, I guess
loud.
pagers don't. They don't beep anymore, huh? Pagers just vibrate now, like a restaurant pager.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, some beep.
I think some of them
It
do
depends
beep,
on where
though.
you go. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one at the Habit vibrates, and I think it beeps initially at the very beginning, and then just vibrates.
And then it's
yeah,
just a vibration.
yeah,
I'm trying to remember the one at Portos. I can't remember.
yeah. So Quinn gets out, and he's all like, "Well, what am I supposed to do?" And then LJ tells him, "Meet me at like some train station." He gives him like intersections.
He does give him
I
like.
Just-
remember that.
He gives them like an
Uh.
intersection thing. So he's like, because Quinn's like, "I got to get back to the others." So he's like, "All right, go ahead and get them, and then meet me here." And
he's like running.
so
trying to
he's
hide
running,
his
and then
bracelet.
another earthquake hits as he's running.
right
And they-
as
and
they
they-
spot him.
and
Yeah,
they're right,
shaking
and they
around.
spot him.
You can kind of see
See the
his
camera
Everyone
shake
sees the
camera
around.
shaking,
Like,
but then the guy who was up there with the sniper, he was like super
Pretty
steady.
stable. God damn it, guys.
Those towers, they're built for earthquakes there.
So
But yeah, so he's like running around. He's trying to
like,
but no,
he's
yeah, you're
still
right.
trying-
There's like stores and stuff down there.
yeah,
right?
there's like a bunch of stores down there, and there's a bunch of people running around.
it's like a mall.
There's like a little bit of chaos going around, and he's able to get out of there
Yeah,
and
get
slip away before
Mhm.
they can get him.
Yeah, so he ends up getting back.
He gets a handkerchief and he wraps it around his wrist.
Oh yeah,
Oh.
to
Oh.
hide it.
Originally, I thought he was going to use it to just pull the bracelet off.
Oh yeah,
Oh
I
my
wonder
God.
why. I guess they couldn't get it off. They can't get
Well,
it
if you
off.
did that thing, it would. It would work, right?
Oh, that's
Nice,
true.
yeah.
Assumption. Yeah, that's why I thought he was doing that with the handkerchief. I thought he was doing that.
I don't
trick.
think he knows that
I
one.
know.
But no, yeah, he just wraps.
So
it.
he gets the group, and he kind of, I think does he tell them that Sid like broke the law? or whatever.
Yeah, they know because
and
the
then
chick wants to
Michelle
wait.
wants to stay.
Yeah.
And then he's like,
Oh,
we gotta
you
go. And
gotta
Michelle's
go.
like, what about if he gets here? And he's like, forget
It's
him.
too
let's
late.
go.
Yeah.
And then she pulls out her gun.
And I thought she was gonna make him stay.
I think they thought that too. I'm pretty sure. Like,
And then she's like, all right, let's
they
go.
do the most intense close up I've ever seen.
Yeah,
for a
and then
gun,
then Quinn and Wade look at each other like, "What the hell? She had that the whole time." So then they go and they make their way to that train station where they were supposed to meet. So they're walking down the street, and then what is
How did they come up with Rembrandt and the professor?
I don't
Did they
know.
just
He
Oh,
probably
oh.
just
know each
fucking
other?
appears.
Yeah, they do meet up, and then that's when Quinn kind of, you can tell he was explaining to them that their whole San Francisco was a prison,
Mhm.
and then
the professor
was
still
upset.
doesn't know about
yeah,
this.
they found out because he even says, he's like, you mean to tell me the whole San Francisco is a prison? And then he's all like, he's about to say something to Quinn about,
the door
he says
opens?
something to Quinn about, about just like the situations that they're constantly getting into. And then Quinn's about to say like, well, if you want to say something or do something different, then you let me know. And that's when LJ kind of pops up, kind of cuts off the conversation.
Yeah.
He basically was going to tell like, oh, if you think you can do a better job, you know.
If you think you can slide better than I can, you go ahead.
Yeah, so LJ shows up and kind of leads them into this
the tunnel,
like
the train
tunnels,
station tunnel,
like train
San
train
It's
Francisco.
like a
tunnels.
train station, and then they into the tunnels.
Yeah,
And at
Like,
this,
sit
and
down
but before
more.
they go in there, that's when Michelle's like, "Hey, just to let you know, LJ in my world's like super double crossing."
Oh,
He's like a
yeah.
jerk,
oh
man.
yeah, she tells that to Quinn, and
he's
then Quinn's like, why didn't you couldn't have told me before?
Yeah.
So they end up following LJ. They go down some ladders
They-
and they end up in the under part of the subway
Mhm.
system.
And they go into a whole bunch of stockpile of boxes.
Oh,
Well, we kind
yeah.
of see them slowly start to walk into
Boxes
that.
labeled
Cigarette.
cigarettes.
Well, it's
Yeah.
different things. I'm pretty
It
sure.
looks
It
like
isn't
it looks like
just
VCRs
cigarettes.
too, right?
I think it's like a whole bunch of smorgasbord of different things, right?
Yeah.
Like, so yeah, they get through, and then I guess LJ knows the people, and we see one of them's the guy,
Oh, the guy
that
that threw the
tried to
knife.
stab.
which is probably just his crew. I'm assuming it's that whole guy's
Yeah,
crew.
it's like a whole crew. I think they're all
Yeah.
into like smuggling goods and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I was funny on their way down. Quinn's all like, where are you taking us? He's like, oh, I'm taking you down to people who are gonna hide you. He's like, you mean people live down here? They're like, yep.
I legit, when he said that, the people who are gonna help up, I was like, no, it's the people who want your timer. You need to stop following.
Yeah, I
this guy.
think at this point you can kind of tell.
Oh no, yeah,
he's
definitely at
leading
this
them to
point.
something.
Like, this is fishy.
There was a
yeah.
shot of him when they get down to that last part of the tunnel. He
Mhm.
kind of like looks around.
He
I think he looks
squints and looks
slightly.
side to side.
Yeah, he does do exactly
Oh,
that. But
no.
at the same time, I'm like, I wonder if he kind of feels bad about betraying them.
I don't know. I think it's just
I don't
more like
know.
he's thinking about himself and getting out.
Yeah.
I for the longest time I thought he was just gonna go with them. Like he was gonna be
I
like,
was
okay,
hoping
I'm
so.
Maybe.
gonna hide you, but it's because I want to go with you.
Yeah.
So he kind of leads them down there, and then you find out that LJ made this deal with the guy who's running it, to like basically get the timer so they can get out of there. And then the professor, Quinn tells him to give it to him.
The professor.
Quinn
does
tells the
something to
professor,
it.
but he does something because he presses a button, and it looks like, I don't know, maybe he locks it so they can't press the
Oh,
buttons. I don't
maybe.
know,
Yeah.
because he just held down one button and that was it.
He's on 911.
He's all like, hold down power button. That's powered off. They'll never know how to turn it on. So the professor gives it to that guy, and then that's when Quinn kind of tells him, you'll never get it to work without me. And then LJ takes Wade hostage. That's the second time she's
yeah,
getting
I
a
know,
gun.
she's hostage again.
Yeah.
This girl
And-
needs to stop being near
yeah, so then
the new people.
I know, right? She's like getting held hostage. First, she was like getting in trouble. Remember, she almost got hit by the car.
First she kept almost dying.
She almost got hit by a trash truck and Fever, where she got rescued.
Yeah.
Now she's being taken hostage.
First she
now.
was falling into traffic a lot.
Yeah. First she's almost getting killed, and now people are threatening to kill her.
The girl doesn't have it easy.
Yeah.
She wanted to
Because
follow
like
the
what
dude
on
she
the
likes.
last episode on the Western world on the what is it, the Good, the Bad, and the Well
Mhm.
thing? That's when she got held hostage on that one too with the gun.
Mm. We're gonna catch a break.
Yeah. So he basically holds her hostage. So like saying, you're gonna turn it on and make it work for us, or they're gonna hurt her.
People are pretty onto these, maybe because they're criminals. Because he's like, okay, let me have it. and I'll push the buttons for you. And the guy was like, no, 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 no. I will hold on to it. You push the buttons though.
Yeah. So then Quinn's kind of walking over there slowly, and then a bunch of spotlights come on.
The boxes fall.
And yeah, boxes fall over.
And
it.
It shows the
it's the
guard.
neighborhood watch.
I don't know if it's a neighborhood. It's just like a bunch of guards that
Yes,
work
it's
for the prison.
I
don't
mean,
know
I'm
if they're
assuming they
prisoners
are the
themselves.
I
neighborhood
would think
watch.
it's the neighborhood
I would
watch.
assume
Oh,
the
are they?
guards would be the neighborhood watch. Why would you
Oh,
not make
okay.
that the system?
Yeah.
So then there's like no real police then on there. It's just like self-policed, like a group.
No,
Just
I
like-
thought they worked for the prison. I didn't
That's
think
what I
they were
thought, too.
prisoners.
But I don't
think
know.
they're prisoners either.
Yeah.
I don't
I guess you
know.
would want. I guess they would be prisoners because then, like, if
Why
innocent
else
people
are
are
they
going down there
there?
and working, they're
Just for
basically
them
gonna
to
die
in the end.
in an earthquake.
Maybe there's like
They
a
know it's
plane
coming.
that comes by and picks them up before.
Oh,
Maybe
maybe.
they have
I don't
shelters
know.
for the, I don't know.
I don't know how it works,
Maybe
but
there's
whatever.
boats.
They're-
That's
They
There's
seem like they're
evacuation
like
spots, maybe?
like security
Yeah.
team or something like that works within the prison.
But
So
then
they
he
show
does
up.
seem kind of evil
Yeah,
at the end there.
but so like there's this whole standoff, and then the main guard guy was like, LJ, you should have told me about this if you wanted to live.
Oh,
And then a big old shootout ensues, and everybody's bullets flying everywhere. The guy who was holding the timer gets shot, and he falls on the floor, and he has the timer in his hand. And then
Quinn's all, let me grab it.
everybody kind of like, yeah,
Quinn
everybody
was
kind of gets cover.
separated.
And then they're all like, "Where's Quinn?" He's like, "I think he's trying to get the timer." And then LJ's shooting at Quinn, and then Michelle shoots LJ and just like kills him one shot.
Mhm.
It
Looks like right in the stomach.
Was it in the stomach?
Yeah.
I thought he got him in the shoulder. I'm like, how's he dead from
No,
that?
it was like a stomach shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So LJ's dead, and then Quinn is able to get the timer, and they head back the way they came in,
Mm-hmm.
and they come out, and the
guards
and
are.
there's like a whole bunch of guards there, and
Mhm.
it seems that Sid is working with
sold
them.
them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sold 'em out.
So
See, because then he gets the perks.
Yeah.
I want.
Well,
the
he doesn't get
perks.
killed.
That's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. So I guess he cut a deal with that main guy. He probably told him the whole
Makes
story about the
sense.
timer. And
Yeah.
everything. And
They end up in underground prison.
yeah,
Again.
right.
Oh yeah, they end in a prison within
Prison
the
within a prison. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they take him
It's
all.
maximum security. It's like the pit.
But yeah,
it is
they're
quite
like-
literally
They're
the
locked
pit.
up again.
Yeah. So they take him into custody, and they're like underground, and then
And Professor's mad at Quinn
Mm-hmm.
as he's like, "Damn it, Quinn, this is all your fault."
yeah, and then the main guard comes in and tells him, that whoever decides to help,
Yeah, now the neighborhood
the
watch
timer
wants
work?
the timers.
Yeah,
Maybe the timer
'Cause they wanna
maybe
get
those
out.
People are prisoners.
maybe.
I always just thought in general, maybe you just want to get out of that world.
Yeah,
they're
you
tired
don't
of
want to
the
do. He's like,
earthquake.
I don't want to work
Get
here no
out of
more.
Dodge.
Maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. But
So
yeah,
he
so
basically
then-
tells them to like think about, if
He
you
said
really
he
want,
was-
if you want to get
yeah.
out of here,
Is this
And
when
then if
we
he
get
wasn't
a?
somebody, he was going to kill somebody until
until
they
he
finally
decided
told him,
to
yeah.
make the thing work, and then so he leaves, and then they ask Michelle, she's like, this has got Sid written all over it,
yeah, I
That-
guess
that's
he
very
used the
much his
same
style.
Fantastic all the
and they're all
time.
like, well, did it work? So like, yeah, well, once he killed somebody and they realized that he was serious, then they, so then they're like contemplating like what the hell they're gonna do, and
And then it cuts to the neighborhood watch guy and Sid,
Talking.
Yeah.
and they're talking. And then they're like, oh, they get a little note that somebody is willing to talk to them.
Mhm.
oh, did they get a note?
Yeah.
Oh,
they
so
got
one of the
a
other
note,
guards came
yeah.
in. Okay, I missed that. Oh yeah. So then he goes back, and you find out that the professor was gonna help them. And
Did
then-
you guys
He
think?
tattled.
I think.
No.
No. Yeah, I was supposed to say like we all
Yeah.
knew, right?
Yeah,
like
I know.
immediately.
I
I'm like, okay,
legitimately
got
I
it.
wrote down on my notes. I was like, they want me to believe this is real.
Yeah.
Get
Which I don't think you are supposed to believe that. I
No.
think you're like the audience knows. They're like, oh, this is the plan.
But
Yeah.
they all
Set
played
up.
it like everybody was mad. and-
Yeah, so they
Mhm.
play it that the professor's betraying them and gonna leave them to behind. But I mean, the professor says some stuff to Quinn about sliding,
That's true.
Oh.
He does.
I mean, he was
kinda-
right
Did
about
they
what he
mean
says.
that?
which I'm sure he meant
I
some
mean,
of it.
he's right. he is
There's a
right.
part of him that's like kind of jealous that Quinn created this before he could,
But he also didn't
and
fucking
he
perfect
also,
I
yeah, and he's
know.
also upset that
But yeah,
he,
so he essentially tells Quinn, like, oh, because Quinn goes like, oh, are you gonna take sliding and make it like if you invented it? And he's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna perfect it, and then at that point, I will be able to say like,
it. It is fine.
sliding is mine because I perfected it before.
and he's like, what you should have done.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
I wonder if they ever talked about. That
I know
after that world.
he says that, and it's obviously it's true, but at the same time, he was very eager to try it out as well. at the beginning. Like he was like,
Was he?
well, he
Well, I
he
know-
agreed.
He
He
just
agreed to
brings
go
them
in.
down there.
That's true. He did agree to
I
go
mean, he's
in.
eager.
Okay, maybe he wasn't eager, but he was definitely
Yeah.
like,
I
for
don't
trying
know
it.
if he knew if it was right or like if he was perfected by him. But at that point, though, he doesn't know necessarily like how well is.
I mean, Quinn did
sliding
study
as
the
Quinn.
portal for a while, and then he sent stuff
And
in.
by a
Quinn
while, he needs to do random shit
he
in there.
threw
When we
oranges
come
into
back or
other
something.
dimensions.
Look,
for
he was
several
gonna throw in
days.
Schrodinger, but he didn't want to.
I don't know. I mean, I guess you can't blame Quinn,
Yeah,
right? Because like that was all just kind of like a fluke,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know. So I guess you can't blame Quinn for not perfecting it. You know who
Mm.
you blame? You blame second Quinn for not telling him
Oh,
about
yeah.
not messing.
Well,
with
he
him.
tried,
You
and
can
then
blame Uncle.
right as he's about to say the most important thing, the portal comes through, and he's too.
Why?
It's so
Hold
loud,
on.
and it's like
Now that I'm thinking about this, he can control the portal. Why didn't he go like, "Oh, I didn't finish my sentence. Let me go back and tell him."
Did he say he could control it?
Well, yeah, because
yeah, because he had been sliding already for a while. He'd been through a bunch of different worlds, and some were good and some were bad.
no, maybe
No, he
couldn't-
can
couldn't
because
pick
he
which
said
world to
he
go
had
into.
gotten to a world that was paradise. He set the timer for how long that time. He's like, I hope I can find that world again, but he doesn't know how to track them.
Oh, that's true.
Oh.
He should have written it down.
Just
Here are the 3 laws. There you go.
Yeah.
Don't feed the portal after midnight. Don't get it wet.
You do see that Quinn later.
Do you?
Yeah, you'll see
I
him
would
again
assume
later.
after. I mean, we've crossed crossed the paths of a whole bunch of different Quinns.
You'll
at
see
this
that
point.
Quinn later.
How much time until we?
Fucking-
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Season
Don't say
four.
it. You're gonna spoil it first.
Season 3.
Oh
season-
man, you just spoiled it.
But like later, but like watch, you'll pop up. You'll
Yeah,
You'll
spoilers
see.
for
I
a
don't
show
wanna
that's been
say.
on for
I hope when
forever.
that happens, I hope the professor like yells at him.
Oh, let's see.
So yeah, then the
Yeah.
professor goes.
So the
to
professor
where
goes, and then
Sid
the
and the other dude. is,
yeah,
right?
that little office where they were talking originally, and the guard guy hands the professor the timer,
Yeah.
and then he powers it on, and he kind of goes into this like, oh, something's not right. Somebody tampered with this. It's like, I need to take this to
Only-
Quinn. He's the only
yeah.
one who knows how to fix it. And then Sid's all like, nah, this is bullshit. He's faking it.
But then
Again,
he's
like people, they're like, nah.
yeah,
And he's like, no, I'm not. I'm telling you. I'm like, if you want to get
He's
out
the
of here,
one
I
that
have to
created
take it
it,
from him.
yeah.
Yeah. So then something happens because like, I don't know.
another earthquake.
another
Michelle.
bigger earthquake.
Yeah,
happens.
and Michelle
Yes.
pulled out her gun because
No, so the earthquake happens, and the professor gets. Oh no, yeah.
no,
Michelle's
yeah,
there. You're
Michelle
right.
had pulled out the gun because
Negan had the gun on the professor.
on the professor.
Or
Yeah,
not Sid. Sorry.
yeah.
Sid
I'm
had
sorry.
the
Yeah,
gun.
Sid had the
Yeah.
gun on the professor.
And then
Sid
Michelle
slash
took-
Negan.
Michelle took out her gun. That's right.
Yeah. So then you don't see it till later, but they tied them up.
Yeah.
Sid was tied up, and so was that guy. But they end up making it back to the cell with
professor and
the
Michelle.
professor and the Quinn. Yeah, they make it back to the thing, and then it cuts to Sid getting out of his bindings. I don't know who tied him up. They did a horrible job because he got
Probably
out.
Michelle.
yeah,
She
probably,
felt guilty.
Maybe you think she made it so he could get out.
probably.
Maybe.
It just took him a little time.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Who knows? Because Sid tells that guard guy, he's like, if I had time, he's like, I'd kill you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
The neighborhood watch guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the guy's like, "Oh, when I get out of my bindings,
You wish
you're gonna
you wish you had.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And then we never see him again.
Nope.
No. So they make it back, and then they 30 seconds till the timers counts down.
30 seconds is such a long time.
Yeah. So they're both waiting there, and then like what? And doesn't an earthquake start happening like right
Earthquake
before they
happens.
shoot the portal?
No, before
The portal does get shot,
It's
but at the same time
the,
where
the earthquake happens before the professor and Michelle even get there.
Oh, okay. So they get
Because-
back.
Quinn's sitting like on the table.
Yeah.
But yeah, the portal is shot by the time Sid
Sid
gets
gets
into the
out.
room, right? Like, because I
It-
vividly remember like the glow of the portal
Yeah.
Portal, I
while
think
he
so.
tackles.
It gets shot. I think the
Quinn
professor made it
gets-
in. He
Yes,
jumped
okay,
in 'cause
like
he
someone
heard
had already
somebody
made
jump in,
Yeah.
and then yeah,
Quinn
Sid-
gets tackled by Sid.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
he comes
yeah.
running in with the gun, and they both get. He gets tackled, and then Rembrandt tries to go in and help, and he
gets
gets
his
thrown.
ass whooped, which I thought was gonna happen either way. I'm like, duh.
And then
He was ready for it this
I
time.
know.
That's
Yeah.
why. Yeah.
So Sid has he has Quinn on the ground, and then Michelle shoots her gun in the air and tells him to get off of him. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you," and then he kind of smiles like, you ain't gonna do nothing. Pretty much is what
he
he's
doesn't
thinking.
believe her.
Yeah, he doesn't
Yeah.
believe her, and then sure enough,
And
she
ends up
shoots
going
him,
through with it. Yeah,
Yeah.
she kills him.
and then she obviously she feels bad about it.
She kind of mourns his death.
Yeah,
a little.
she kind of holding him, and they basically tell Michelle, there's nothing you can do now. You just come with us. So they leave him there, and they all jump into the portal. And then then after that, they shows like a big earthquake, and we're assuming it's the big one.
Yeah,
I think it's supposed to be like, okay, they made it out.
They made it out just
time.
right before, because there was like a bunch of aftershocks going on
a
leading
lot
up to
of
it.
dust and rocks coming down, which I assume is just crew throwing that shit down.
They're like,
Probably,
Yeah,
What do you think they use, like actual dirt as dust? Or...
probably. Yeah, they have it. I'm sure.
Do you think they're just in front?
I
of
think
the camera?
I think they're up top on some railing, and one guy has a bag of dust, and another guy has rocks, and they're doing dust. One group is doing dust, and one
They're
group
doing
is
dust,
rocks.
man.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's indoors, so
Just throwing
it's definitely
dust,
on a studio.
Oh, there was and then that's it. That's all you.
And credits.
It
Yeah,
ends in
credits right there.
credits.
So then there you go. They got a new
Well, it
person with
doesn't
them.
matter at all because
I wonder
next
if
is Love
they're gonna-
Gods.
What?
Next is Love Gods.
Oh,
right? On
yeah,
the list,
yeah.
like in order. So it
I think
doesn't
at this
matter.
point, like in the series, like it doesn't like
you
each-
just assume
you
that
just assume they left her somewhere.
they left her somewhere else. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is the assumption.
Yeah.
Is
'Cause-
also this is the
Yeah.
actual order of
In the
things?
actual order.
In the actual order, yeah.
Love Gods would have been right after El Cid, so you don't
So
see
they
any
just
sign of
picked
her.
Up a whole nother
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, that I guess you just assume they left her somewhere nice.
Yeah,
Who knows?
they said they were owed a world with a nice hotel. Or a nice
Maybe.
resort.
Oh, the professor's like, I'll believe that when I see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Love Gods, because Love Gods, right, is the one with
David.
David,
Yeah.
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 So yeah, there's no sign of
So they
Michelle.
didn't even learn from this. They went from picking up one hitchhiker to picking up another hitchhiker.
The
and then
whole
after
whole
that, it
car
was
in that
like-
one.
After that,
The
after Love
good,
Gods
the
is
bad.
good, the bad, and the well. See, that's
Which we just
So we
in-
don't.
in
we
the
never
order.
know what happened to any of these people
No.
because they didn't
No.
even mention
No.
them in that.
They're not
either.
important enough.
So they're still not the episodes are still not quite in order yet. I don't know when they become like in the proper order. But so the next episode is Time Again in World. That'll be the next one. Oh, and I forgot to take the IMDb's rating for this episode. El Cid was 7.1.
It's pretty good.
Oh,
you give
really?
it 7.1? Do you think it's 7.1?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd give it like an 8.
You get
Just
a
'cause of
nice
the architecture.
Oh yeah.
You do
A lot of
get
great
that.
shots
You
of just the
do-
buildings.
You do. I mean, it does
It's
touch on
interesting.
a few things, but it is like I think appreciate the professor's anger towards like we need to stop
Taking people.
people.
stop taking
Yeah.
people.
I mean, which disappears again, apparently.
Which I know, which
Yeah.
happens again. So on IMDb it says, because I'm still trying to figure out what that building is.
Uh-huh.
It has like different like trivias and whatever. One of the things it tells you is like goofs that happened in the episode.
Uh-huh.
And it says just before the confrontation between Quinn and Sid on the first world, apparently you see the shadow of the boom mic against the wall of the room that they're in.
Oh really?
I
So
didn't
dark
notice
in there,
that.
though.
I know.
Yeah.
I
I wouldn't have seen that unless you
I didn't even
actually
notice
look
it,
out
yeah,
for
like,
it.
unless you're looking for it.
Yeah.
I think I'm still trying to figure out what the heck that building is. Is that a real building?
I'm sure it is a real building.
Next episode, we'll have the answer.
I'll do like a
Uh,
screenshot grab and I'll Google Lens it and see what it
we can
brings
find
up.
it.
Everyone
Yeah.
wants to know.
I know. It's like,
Everybody
I
wants to
don't
know what's
really
going on
know.
around here.
Dying.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the only trivia?
Why is there more trivia on it?
There was a couple trivia things. The San Francisco. Oh, actually, there we go. The San Francisco prison is actually set in the futuristic-looking Plaza of the Nations in Vancouver.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're
was it
right. Yeah, so
Vancouver?
Vancouver.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's somewhere in the city proper.
Yeah.
So quick side note. I don't know if anybody on the live stream noticed, but I was gonna show it off here for all the listeners who are listening. I got sent this from one of the followers on our page. and I believe he's a listener too. It's from 1984_props. Check out his page. He does a lot of cool props and stuff. So he sent me a replica timer that he works on. Showed up on the camera here. It's pretty cool. I like it.
It
And
actually
it actually beeps
has,
up
like,
and everything.
yeah,
pretty cool,
Sound.
actually.
So
Yeah.
let me see.
it's like really.
I'll turn it off, and then I'll power it on. Does a little cycling thing, and
Oh,
then
man,
when you
that's
click
it.
this top button right
Oh,
here,
well, like we're out of time.
the top part glows up like when you open up the portal
It's pretty cool.
and cycle through, and then you go. So we got 9 days and 28 hours on this world.
I didn't realize the top was days. I
Yeah.
thought it always
Yeah.
just gave you the hours, and you had to calculate what those hours were in the day.
Quinn
So
wouldn't
it's
do
pretty
that.
Quinn's like, I need to know.
So-
Like the shit.
Big thank you to 1984_props. I think his name is Todd Wallace. It said, at least that's what it said on the thing he sent me.
Oh,
Oh,
God. Sorry, Todd.
Well, I'm sorry. All right. Oh, thank you, Todd. I really appreciate this. It's really cool. I'll have it up here for all the shows.
See on the show.
Yeah, it'll always be on the show. I'll have it right there. I want to get a nice little stand for it or something. But yeah. So that was cool.
Do you want to know another little trivia fact?
Yeah, what else you got?
So another trivia fact it has is apparently, I wonder how do they find this out? But it's supposedly on the prison world, the Loma Pierta. I feel like I said that wrong. Earthquake in October of '89 was far more. It's like, I guess this is the backstory of
Why there's an earthquake going on?
Why they evacuated. It was more devastating than it was on Earth Prime, so it led to San Francisco being evacuated, and then that's when they decided to make the city into a prison.
To a prison.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But sometimes I wonder how they get these little infos.
They probably do like
Well, some
research.
people,
They have a team of
some people know that, but
researchers
because on there you can actually submit like little facts and stuff like that, kind of like
Oh, really?
Wikipedia. You know, how people can
Oh.
add stuff. So
Yeah,
some of it might be true, some of it might not be. Who knows?
it might not. I
Like somebody made that up.
don't know.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, that was it for that episode. That was it. Yeah.
And what do we have next?
I just told you. Time Again in World.
Oh, okay. Time again.
Yeah, that'll be the next one.
All right.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah, well, that one will be which one's the
26th?
26th. Yeah. So, all right, everybody. We'll see you guys on the next episode. And all right, you guys have a good night, and we'll see you
on the
guys in the
next
next world.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Sliding Through Dimensions for updates and extra content. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss out on new episodes dropping every other week. Until next time, see you in another dimension.